Are you new to seed starting or just to gardening in general? Well, today I'm going to show you just all of the basic materials you need to start your seeds off to get the most abundant harvest ever. Seed starting is extremely easy, much easier than many people make it out to be. It can save you hundreds of dollars just even in the first year. And it also gives you a sense of satisfaction when you're able to grow something yourself. So I will get into the 5 essential things you need to have. The first thing that every seed needs to sprout is a growing medium. There are so many options out there, from rock wool to peat pellets to coco coir, seed starting mixes, and so on. But if you're a beginner, I would avoid using rock wool. Instead, peat pellets would work wonders if you don't want to do anything, really, and they are also reasonably cheap for just starting out. There is also another advantage to using peat pellets, which I'll get to later on in the video. Another common option is seed starting mix, but the ones you buy at the store are extremely overpriced. Instead, if you want a super easy DIY ultimate seed starting mix to fill your seed cells, simply use my perfect recipe of 90% coco coir, 5% of sand, or that's about 1 cup for every 4 quarts of seed starting mix, and 5% worm castings, or also about 1 cup of 4 quarts of coco coir. This will get you a perfect mix as it holds on to the proper moisture, yet the water drains freely. And also the microorganisms in the worm castings provide your seedlings nutrients and also helps to prevent damping off disease. Peat pellets will run you about $3 for about 36 of them, or this DIY mix will cost about $5 for around 8 quarts, but it can fill around 72 small seed starting cells. The next thing that every seed needs to grow healthy after it sprouts is a source of light. In most areas, unless you have a windowsill that gets 8 hours of direct, intense sunlight, then it is not enough. You will have to buy a grow light. But hey, don't fear. Don't let that scare you, because all you need is a basic LED shop light. These here are cheap, inexpensive, and because they are LEDs, they save on electricity. You'll want to get one that is at least 3200 lumens, like this one, and considered a bright white or a daylight, also known as a Kelvin rating of above 5500. White light is all you really need for any of your seedlings to just start growing. This one here only cost me $8 on sale, but at the very most these should only cost you around $16. The next seed starting supply that I'm about to tell you will almost guarantee you seed starting success. It is the thing that some think that, they don't need, but they get little to no success, especially with warm season crops. If you know what I'm talking about, comment down below. But this secret tool that I'm talking about is a seedling heat map. You can really supercharge your seed starting success, especially by using one with a thermostat, as you see here, or as you can see right here. Most warm season crops, or crops that cannot tolerate frost, need right around 72 to 75 degrees consistently to germinate. Most cool season crops like lettuce, cabbage, kale, and so on can germinate when soil temperatures are approximately 50 to 60, but this can take weeks or months. So using a seedling heat mat can really work wonders and even germinate some of these seeds in as little as 4 days. Just depends on the seed. This one here cost me around $16 on Amazon when I purchased it. But what is the good of this when you have to go in and turn on the light every day and turn it off before you go to bed or something? Well, that is where the next seed starting tool comes into play. Get yourself a cheap timer. Then all you have to do is plug and play. For seed starting success and your own mental clarity and sanity, simply invest in one of these. It saves the headache of trying to remember that you turned on or off the lights, You do want your heat mat to run continuously when starting your seeds, so the light is the only thing that should be plugged in to the timer. This one here only cost me right around $5. The final thing might seem obvious, but you can spend anywhere from nothing when recycling materials to a hefty chunk of change for seed cells. When just starting out though, just simply get a seed starting kit at the big box store for about $6, something like the one I have here, which includes all the cells, the bottom tray, and a humidity dome. If you take care of this as well, this can last you at least 2 to 3 years, but I have seen people use them for 5 or 6. And if you're on a tight budget, you just use small vessels to hold your seed starting mix, something like a small yogurt container or something, as this will allow, having a small container will allow the heat mats to sufficiently keep the soil warm. The advantage of peat pellets, as I alluded to earlier in the video, is that you don't need one of these seed trays. You just need some sort of container to contain them, even something like a plate or a bowl, and perhaps a humidity dome too. You can always use something like cling wrap, a plastic bag, or a plastic container and put over your seeds to create that humidity. And I've only spent right around $40 on this setup, but if you can't find any sales, this setup only still costs around $50. And you will get a return on investment within the first year of growing. If you were to grow just 24 veggie plants from seed, let's just say, you could save up to $90 in just the first year, assuming each veggie transplant at the store would cost you $5, which most of them unfortunately do these days, but that is why seed starting is such a benefit. If you use these 5 things, such as a timer, a grow light, good seed starting medium, trays, and a heat mat, you will achieve excellent germination. In fact, all of these seedlings here that you see have sprouted within 1 week, including these peppers. So that is an amazing thing to see. Some things will take a little longer in general, like these coneflower. They're just starting to sprout up. But things like peppers and tomatoes will be getting off on the fastest of starts, especially with the use of things like heat mats. But if you're also on a budget and you need somewhere to plant all of these seeds that you're growing, you need to now check out this video on how I made a cedar planter for only $3 using just scrap pieces of cedar. This especially works for smaller veggies and most of all flowers. Plus, these planters look amazing, so go ahead and check out this video.